Something happened to me recently that really opened my eyes on some things. No, I'm not going to exactly talk about what happened, because that's not the point. The point is, I realized how deeply ingrained misogyny is in how we treat one another, especially as women. We talk so much about how men are raised to hate women, how toxic masculinity shapes how boys grow up, how male entitlement becomes dangerous. And all of that is very true. But what we don't talk about enough is how women are raised in that same system. A system that teaches us to mistrust each other, to view one another as competition, to tear each other down because we think there's not enough space for all of us. And most of us don't even realize it's happening because we've internalized it. It becomes part of how we see the world and how we see ourselves. When I was younger, I thought things would get better as I got older. I thought girls would stop judging other girls and that we'd all grow out of it. But that didn't happen. And if anything, it got way worse. The judgment just got quieter and more passive-aggressive. I'll never forget in middle school when I was walking down the halls and getting stares because I was in certain clothes. And even in high school, in college, online. The assumption that if you dress a certain way, you must be doing it for someone. That you must be asking for attention. That you must want something. And I don't say this like I'm perfect. I've had my judgmental moments. I've had moments where I've caught myself being very critical and had to reflect and think, where is this coming from? We all have work to do, but the first step is accepting that the issue exists, even in places that we didn't want to admit, even in ourselves. I've had older women comment about my clothes under their breath as I walk by. I've been told to cover up when it's 30 degrees outside and I don't want to wear a parka. I've been sexualized in situations where I was just existing. And while a lot of these comments come from men, sadly, they also come from women as well. Women that have been through it themselves. And instead of protecting me, and instead of understanding, they double down and join in. And that's the part that sticks with me. That is a betrayal. The fact that someone who knows how hard it is to be a woman in this world would go and make it harder for another one. From the time we're little girls, we're conditioned to compete with one another, to compare, to judge, to see other women's confidence as a threat and not something to celebrate. It's always, she's too much, or who does she think she is? We're taught that there's only room for one of us at the top, so we claw at each other instead of lifting one another up. The internalized misogyny runs so deep, and it's in subtle, everyday things that a lot of people say. Like when someone says, she only got the role because she's pretty. Or, well, yeah, she's popular. Look at what she's wearing. Saying that is projection and insecurity. Being a young woman, especially online, is like living under a microscope. I've been sexualized since I was 13 years old before I even knew what that meant. I've had people comment on my body, my clothes, my face, as if it all belongs to them. As if it's all up for public debate. Worst of all, some of those comments came from other women. The world tells us that our bodies are dangerous and that we're asking for attention. That we're inviting criticism and sexual comments. Why? Because we're existing in a space and not hiding ourselves? We're constantly expected to dim our light so that other people can feel comfortable. It's exhausting. I think what shocked me most recently is that the harshest judgment and the things that have stuck with me have been from other women. But here's the thing that I've realized from experience. When another woman tries to shame you for your confidence, your clothing, your platform, for me, it's never coming from a place of genuine concern, even if they mask it to be that way. It's coming from jealousy, resentment, or a deep discomfort with their own unexpressed self. Because a confident woman, a visible woman, a woman who takes up space, that scares people. And let's not pretend we don't know the type. The concerned woman who frames her judgment as advice. The one who says, I'm just trying to help, while cutting you down with backhanded compliments. The one who will smile in your face and stab you in the back as soon as you turn around. And while we're here, let's talk about the girl's girl thing. Because I'm tired of hearing it used like a branding strategy. You can say you're a girl's girl all you want. But if you're side-eyeing a girl in a crop top and whispering about what she posted on Instagram, you are not a girl's girl. If you're tearing other women down to feel better about yourself, you are not a girl's girl. Get that it is real sometimes. Okay, guys, I know there are girls out there. I love them all. I know when they actually are. But it's just so trendy right now to act like you're being supportive of women, even with men, and like this whole performative guy thing going on. But there's a difference between hyping up your friend's post on Instagram and actually being there for them in real life. And that means all women, not just the ones that look like you or dress like you. You don't have to agree with every woman's choices, but you do have to stop thinking that her choices threaten you. If your version of being a woman relies on being the most liked, the most modest, the most appropriate, you are still performing for the male gaze. Who said that? Who said that? And being a girl's girl is about keeping another woman's name safe in a room full of people who want to just tear her down. It's about knowing how it feels to be judged and not wanting to pass that pain on. I've had women compliment me in one breath and insult me in the next. I've had people say they admire my confidence and then turn around and say I'm doing too much. What do you want from me? Be confident, but not too confident. Be beautiful, but don't be sexy. Be successful, but do not be intimidating. It's like the monologue from the Barbie movie. What do you want us to do? I'm allowed to love the way I look. I'm allowed to wear what I want. I'm allowed to post what I create and feel proud of. That doesn't make me shallow or attention seeking. It makes me free. And if that makes someone uncomfortable, that's on them, not me. We have to stop acting like there's only one definition of what it means to be a good woman. We're allowed to be both soft and loud, smart and sensual, reserved or bold. It doesn't make us better or worse than each other. I'm no longer shrinking myself to make others feel better. I'm done editing myself so I could be palatable for people who are never going to be satisfied. There's nothing wrong with being visible. We have to stop playing into the system that benefits from our division. Patriarchy thrives when women tear each other apart. We need to rewrite that script. We need to turn that around. Be the girl who hypes other girls up. Let's celebrate each other, compliment the stranger, and defend that girl who's being talked about. Let's be supportive. Actually supportive. Let's normalize being genuinely happy for other women that are doing well, especially when they're doing things that maybe we haven't figured out how to do yet. Because being a woman in this world is hard enough. We don't need to make it even harder for each other. We are each other's safety net, each other's power source, and each other's mirror. And if we spent half as much time supporting each other as we do judging, we'd be a hell of a lot stronger. So, let's lift each other up. And remember, another woman's beauty, success, and freedom does not threaten yours. Thank you for listening. I'm Isabella, and thank you for listening and joining me today. I know today was a bit of a rant. I've just been going through this type of stuff recently, and I really wanted to get it out there. I know I already made a video in the past about like the beauty industry and stuff like that, and this kind of like aligns with that, but there's a deeper side of it that I think I hadn't covered yet, and I really, really needed to talk about. So I'm really happy to do that. I feel much better. Anyways, if you liked today's video, you should hit that like button because it really helps me out. And like always, if you had fun this week, you should subscribe because I guarantee you'll have fun next week because I do post weekly every single Monday. Anyways, love ya, great to see ya, and I will see you next week. Bye!